vision, I suppose, is going to be very nice.
Hmm.
They got a great color scheme, and well, if they are able to land an arrow on the bear, that could take them out of a fight, I guess, for a while. Nonetheless,
They have good arrow follow-ups, basically. Starter
Yeah.
initiates the arrow on whoever he caught,
Mhm.
and magic damage is a decent solution against Lone Druid because his armor's so high, including on the bear as well. Not that, again, Slardar is kind of countering that. Mirana can transition into a carry very well. There's the hero that I really kind of expected to get banned. Like, I mean, it's 100% win rate for the qualifier. It's just, it's so high. Maybe this isn't all games. Okay, excuse me. 5 games of the qualifier, 100% win rate. The 6th game was 19 days ago, so we're not going to count that one.
No, that's
doesn't
too long.
adjust the numbers at all.
That's a different.
But
That's almost a different patch, right? Maybe not. That's this patch still. Maybe a fresh patch.
Yeah, 19 days. Yeah, it was the previous patch for sure.
Yeah,
but all these other matches 2 days or less. And actually 3 of these games they had Oracle on their team, surprisingly.
Really?
Maybe really buffing up the Oracle win rates. Generally unpopular hero, especially
and
in
it's
pubs.
not against one of them. It's against the bat. The other
Action
one,
Arena.
The other one not though.
Yeah, only.
I wonder if they'll pick it up here.
Only one bat.
But in the meantime, Mineski, they give us an idea that this Mirana will be in a core position, and we will be having a Lich Witch Doctor duo here. So you get the benefit of the extra armor on your side. Of course, the sacrifice is very nice on that new range creep, and there's a Lion going to be coming out from Orange here. So
could have maybe been a good Oracle game because you can remove the stun from the arrow, but much safer pick on the line. It's something. Oracle's just not that amazing against those enemy heroes. You can purge off like ice armor, I guess, but much better just to kill them with nukes, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
And a couple more disables against heroes like Witch Doctor are definitely nice. They can lock down Mirana before she leaps away. Slardar as well, a little bit wily and hard to kill. So Orange Tearing's, their carry potential is a little bit limited, but that's kind of been the story of this patch the last couple of days with all the Slardar carries that just give you a fairly safe lane. You get a consistent Blink Dagger, you can put them off lane or carry, and then you're just pretty much always viable and strong. And if you're doing really well, you buy the OP Armlet and you become actually kind of a carry.
All right, well, what can Orange get here to maybe boost up their late game potential quite a bit?
Well, they kind of have a 4-man lineup with Lone Druid split pushing right now, so they're going to need a potentially tanky core that can move with them. That the Lone Druid doesn't necessarily have to be there.
Do you think being a BKB kind of candidate is probably essential in this lineup, going against the Slaughter, going against the Lich?
That would sort of work. Gyrocopter would have been really good. Obviously it was banned. Something like Tide Hunter would have been quite good as well. Maybe... Okay.
Ooh, Sven.
Yeah,
I was
that'll
actually going to casually throw out the idea of a Jug, but yeah, Sven, another great man fighter there. And a quick response is the Dragon Knight, man. They're really taking a lot from TNC in the last series.
Almost exactly the TNC draft, with the exception of like Lich and Mirana were different heroes. But I sort of like DK. DK definitely is good at picking up disables on puck, but not sure if I like him versus Sven a whole lot. Sven just hits other creeps near Dragon Knight. The Dragon Knight just kind of dies, because then it's doing Cleave, which is technically physical damage, but it's physical damage that ignores armor. So it will kind of just cut right through him.
Yeah. I'm really trying to find the true purpose for the Dragon Knight here, and maybe what it drawback on what the purpose was for TNC and how they made it work. I was going to say it doesn't feel like it's there for the hefty push, as there's not a lot of push synergy with it, but TNC didn't really use it in a sense for heavy pushing. He was there for a lot of setup and a lot of chase.
Yeah, and like, a lot of chain stuns, but definitely the early part of the game, it was really important that he was tanky and able to take damage, and he'll be able to do that this game. Like, the supports have to run away from him in a lot of ways, or they have to use a lot of spells to nuke him, which is a little bit too much for them to handle. So it's decent here. I think it's definitely all right. It'll be a very strong early game. But in the middle portion of the game, when Sven actually has a couple items, that's when Dragon Knight's going to stop being less valuable. So especially if Terran's able to initiate first, the Dragon Knight could just get blown up right off the bat with Finger of Death, puck combo, a couple Sven hits, for example. So I just love how great Cleave works, though. Like, if you like put a blade of grass versus next to this like Dragon Knight with like AC and Shivas, as long as you hit the blade of grass first, then the sword just like cuts right through that armor.
It's like I had to
kind of cool
hit
how
this
that works.
little thing. Yeah. Then my real damage potential shows. And only going to be a short hiccup of a pause before we get back underway here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, game number 1 of our lower bracket final, you can call it, for the C Manila qualifier here. We already have TNC waiting in the grand final for one of these two teams. Mineski, well, they fought it out against TNC, managed to take a game off of them, but now they're stuck elimination mode against Orange Herring, who have been fighting their way, made it out from the opening round, taking out Execration 2-0. And now hoping for a chance to match up against TNC in the grand final. We'll see if they'll be able to do it as we get underway. Not really seeing too much in the, nothing different as far as the laning setup goes here. Puck towards the mid lane is all good, and they're going to keep Sven up and above. And it looks like they were able to get down their own ward here on Mineski to just make sure the offlaner wasn't going to be able to really intercept in any sort of way, but it's Lone Druid. I'm sure he'll find a way to find his own farm regardless.
Yeah, they do block the large camp though, so he won't be able to easily side pull, which is normally a pain in the butt. So this means if you're pulling on the supports, the offlaner usually gets to do a side pull of their own. He does place a laned sentry down. He doesn't find the ward, so.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for your Lone Druid now. He steps in, not going to see the ward. Instead, we'll just kind of get poked a bit, and they'll step off. Bender's going to be able to get that bottom bounty route on his Dragon Knight. Leaves Yamate with the top one. Him and his Null and a couple of shared tangos are going to be squaring up against the DK. We saw this matchup already, Purge, in the last series. Kind of ended up being a bit even for a while, so I'm curious if Yamate's puck is going to be able to really take advantage in a matchup where most would, I guess, would you say suspect that the puck should be the better?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, you're going to get way more harassed on your opponent. He can't even stun you until he hits level 6, or his allies set up a good kill, but it's a Witch Doctor and a Lich. Like, I just don't see Puck dying in this lane unless he gets arrowed. So, and I doubt that the Murano's going to want to shift from her lane. So, as a whole, I definitely like this this matchup here for Orange. And in the off lane, it's kind of the same thing. Lone Druid versus a Witch Doctor and a Murana. It's semi-low chances that one of them does get arrowed. So I like that matchup. The only one that looks pretty good for Mineski is probably the Lich Slardar. He's one range creep, a sacrifice, and hits level halfway to level 2 basically.
Yeah.
So pretty good.
And they'll be all good there. I've never even seen that Slardar set before. It actually makes them look so decent. Cool. Okay, good stun, good arrow, and they'll take the 300 gold.
Oh, they got the bear. Nice.
Yeah. Good little pick off and extra chunk of change going their way. It looks like that went to the Murana as well, so that'll boost things up nicely for her, and Lone Druid's going to have to just take the hit.
So in the mid lane, Dragon Knight's up to 5 last hits, Puck's at 6. It's going pretty even here. He'll probably go double null to start the lane off, so really good harass potential against the Dragon Knight. And he usually turns that into a lot of good TP rotations, basically the lanes. We'll probably look to see him get 6 and then TP to the top lane, try to get a double kill on the Lich Slar. Definitely a possibility for a kill there due to the very strong tri-lane. Like, you've got 3 stuns. Bench stun, Sven stun, line stun.
And this line does have to be a little careful, though, in the laning phase still. If he pushes himself too far forward, a good crush with the sprint chase and the slow of the Lich could be a very nice chance to get off a pick-off here. But he holds his ground, and Vengeful Spirit tries to make a rotation in, but they got that ward to see the rotation up here on the high ground, so Mineski will be the wiser and avoid the trouble here. While mid lane, it looks like Jules is rotated away from that bottom lane and is walking for Yamate, just trying to keep him away from trouble. Their DK, who falls behind just a little bit, is happy with the assistance.
Yeah, this Dragon Knight actually did get a poor man's shield. I think this is the first time I've ever seen that before. Normally Dragon Knights don't even bother because Dragon Blood already gives you pretty good survivability, but as we saw in this match earlier, the Puck really can harass the Dragon Knight so much that it matters. So it's actually kind of ridiculous how much survivability he now has with poor man's and the Dragon Blood in the laning stage.
Yeah, for sure. We'll eat a tango to kind of get all that regen back on top of the Dragon's Blood, but he will be good and back in fighting shape and be able to match up in the CS game. Top lane, sprint, but just more again for the flirting here. They have that Vengeful Spirit now and 2 sets of lockdown. So do not want to be overstepping your boundaries here, Mineski, on this front. But things continue to stay a bit quiet and calm right now. It's very difficult here with the 2 at the top lane, or actually the 3-on-2 matchup, and having a puck in the mid lane. There's really no easy targets here.
Yeah. I like how the Lone Druid went back for Iron Talon. This was an item that off-lane lone druids kind of stopped buying. Actually, all lone druids stopped buying.
Top lane though, they've actually made their move for the Slardar, and that's going to be your first blood. Jules rotates in as well. They're hoping for a response, but it's not going to be there. And that's just the power of, I mean, look at Magic Missile. You got Hammer. It was not even was used. So Earth Spike. Yeah, you overstep a bit. They're going to have enough lockdown to really make you pay for it.
Yeah, really nicely done there. Pretty straightforward kill. Oh, stun on Puck.
Just Yamate.
Yo, he's actually doing damage.
Wow. We'll force out the Fairy Fire, and Yamate heads up to the high ground and back it around because we got an Invis Root, which is going to be denied. Jules is not going to allow them to pick that one up. That sucks for Yamate, man. He has no bottle now. And only one little Fairy Fire for the regen, so might have to be careful, though. This Dragon Knight is leveling up the Breathe Fire here. He also has an empty bottle, though. His courier is going to be fished out now, but you know, with that kind of nuking power here, you don't want to risk anything.
He's doing really well against this Puck mid. He's actually kind of holding his own. I mean, I know the Witch Doctor is there briefly, but he's completely holding his own versus this Puck. He keeps letting him get hit by him, which is kind of peculiar. Both heroes are quite slow. Obviously, Puck more mobility usually, but I'm just surprised that he's getting
They
traded.
tried to go for Lone Druid in the bottom lane, who hopped into the side shop when he was caught in a bad position, but the arrow was a miss as he just quickly TP's out. Maybe they should have tried to move in there, but they just anticipated he was going to TP, tried to go for the blind shot, and it was a miss.
And no way they can find him otherwise. If it was Avenge, maybe a Wave of Terror could scout, but with Witch Doctor, you got to have that vision. So, nothing too weird there. Offlane Slaughter is level 4 now. 1 death on him. Lich has still been playing okay.
Oh, Dragon form out now, but not going to be able to get the catch. And we'll instead opt to bottle up at this point. The head is CS though, Purge. Raging Potato on this Mirana. 38 and even 13 denies to go along with it.
And he got the bear kill.
And that bear kill. And he's going straight for a Midas on the Mirana.
That's really fast CS. Bear kill's like 6 last hits basically, so the fact that he's got 38 right now is putting him way ahead. And the faster the Midas, the faster the items after it.
What do you think would be the appropriate build-up? I've seen a little bit of everything. People talking about like, oh, you got to get the eggs right away, man. And people are like, you know what, you can hold off on that or just ignore it altogether.
It's definitely going to be the fast eggs here. I wonder how good it would be to just do even something like Brown Boots straight into eggs over Midas, because the Midas is half of an eggs. And he's actually so farmed right now that I wonder, like imagine right now, well, it's not right now, but by 10 minutes, if you have eggs on Mirana, you could actually just leap Starfall one-shot somebody.
Oh yeah,
like you actually could, because it does pretty close to 1,000 magic damage.
Yeah, was it four potential hits of that?
And it would do, yeah, it does 525 times 2. Oof. So, like he could actually just one-shot Lone Druid.
Uh-oh, making a move now again for the Slardar. That's 1 stun, that's 2 stuns, that's 3 stuns, and that's a kill.
Yeah, you can't do anything there. I think the Lich actually ran back to sacrifice as well, so I don't even know if he had Frost Armor on, but his nukes weren't going to save him. So.
Could have been a good read from Orange. Maybe read the clock, knew the creep wave was coming out, and Lich, would be doing something like that and not near to help. But even if he was around, I don't know what he really could have done to stop a mess like that.
Yeah, there's not much really. So about the Midas on Mirana, even with having really fast ags, you have to use it to get kills or to get farm, and Midas just does that guaranteed and kind of for a longer period of time and for more ways. Like if you're behind, Midas is definitely better. Again, coming mid.
They try to go for the puck here. The burn one's going to be there, and now they make their own response, going for the Dragon Knight. The coil going to be committed for this one as well. Jules steps in with a coconut. Bottle. It's pretty good, and he starts to bring out the Voodoo Restoration. Keeps the Dragon Knight alive, and look at this. Even the Sven hopping in on the action, TP's in, and that will be enough firepower to get the finish, at least on the Witch Doctor here. Orange up 3 kills now. Mineski yet to get themselves on the board.
Definitely a very hard matchup for Puck here. He's struggling heavily against Dragon Knight. Ben-Hur is just, he's rocking this matchup. Another Sven rotation, or the first Sven rotation, but definitely beneficial. He's even got more Storm Hammers than we normally see, but it makes his ganks slightly better. And a fast treads as well to get more mana out of his hero and better DPS in these early fights. So he's definitely prioritizing more on the early, most likely just because of this Lich in the dual lane.
Yeah, he's been involved in every kill. It's not like there's been a lot of them, but yeah, he's all over the place.
Good
happy
for
to
him.
Participate, and with that, he benefits in the resource department at that point.
And
so
it's not just him that's benefiting. Line's 5 now. He got the experience on that kill mid. He's doing a great job. Stun on Puck. Like, he just keeps hitting Puck. Like, how does he get a stun off on Puck? I'm not quite sure. It kind of blows my mind, but is Puck letting him do it? He's like, oh, you're going to use 100 mana to stun a Puck just for 2 right clicks? Like,
And
what a
maybe
waste.
just don't
I
expect it, and you're like, is this guy for real? He's really just going to walk up and Dragon Tail me every time?
He's just so slow. I don't know how it's happening. I mean, Puck is also slow, but very weird game for the mid matchup. Witch Doctor trying to set up.
Yeah, he's got an Invis Rune. He's like, you want to go for a pull? Well, sorry, I'll be here. We'll block out the stack. And I was going to say, if Venge goes back to scout it out, they might just even get mind gamed to thinking that there's a ward there. There actually is a ward close by, but not one to really block out the camp. Oh no, it does block the camp.
Does this really?
Yeah.
Okay, I've actually never seen this
Yeah,
one
it's in the
before.
corner too. That's a bit funny.
Sometimes those ones on cliffs or stairs don't actually work, but... Alright, Mirana going for the treads after the Midas now. 76 last hits on her. Her net worth is way ahead.
Oh yeah.
5k net worth at 9 minutes. So it's like 1,300 ahead of what the Dragon has. She could have brown boots eggs right now. With like a wand. If she wanted to.
If she wanted to.
She doesn't, but if she did.
She's thinking long game here. She wants the greedy game.
Yeah. I mean, you can actually farm so fast on Mirana.
Yeah.
For this reason. It's
Yep.
for the large camp.
Satyr gets taken down, and well, Sven involved again in another kill. This time top lane going to be able to get the jump and take down the Slaughter. It's been a struggle for him, this one. That'll be the Slaughter's 3rd death, and it's right under his tower. Even with the benefit of the armor, it's not going to be enough, and they're looking to go for the tier 1 finish. Jules shows up, pops out the coconut just as he gets stunned himself. Ling tries to go for the follow-up, gets it with the finger. They will get the finish. They get the extra kill with it, and they just turn and run. Looks like the tower will get denied in the end, but they'll take the extra scrappy kill. And Orange now up 5-0 mid lane. Looking to go for more. Yamate steps in, gets a good coil and a silence. Ice steps in. They get the magic missile. They get the invis coming out from Raging Potato is enough to avoid the stun. And he just quickly steps up and away. Uh-oh, Ling is going to see him. Oh, he canceled the stun even though there's no real mana there. The line could have sucks the mana and then maybe had it, but here comes the rest of Mineski. They leap right on in. They are going to get the kill, finally put themselves with 1 kill on the board. A lot of rotation power here, but hey, they saved the DK.
Yeah, it was a good turn. Kind of. I mean, we could easily see that he didn't have mana, so he would have been fine there, but big stun and his allies back him up just in time.
And they'll get the tier 1 too. Dragon Knight picks up the last hit on that, and that'll help Mineski a bit. You know, for a game where they have finally just gotten their first kill, they're still ahead in net worth, Purge. I guess a lot of credit going to the Raging Potato Mirana for that, but they're still holding their own.
He'll transition fairly nicely. I mean, once Sven gets BKB, he's going to really be limited on what he can do, but I think Sven will be happy as a whole. He is going to be going for the Echo Saber, starting off with an Oblivion Staff.
Ah, that's right, the Echo Saber here.
Yeah, great item right now, especially for Sven, just because you usually have a pretty limited amount of time that you can get kills. He's pretty disappointed in the stacks, actually. The Venge stack failed, there's now a ward blocking it. Mineski is completely ahead, like way ahead on this. The fact that he didn't get like a 4-stack there is going to mean Sven does way less in the mid game. Because if that was like a 4-stack, he'd be almost caught up to Mirana. It's easily better than a Midas. He will find a large camp stack though. This one's pretty nice.
He drops the sentry, doesn't see the ward. He thinks it's up over there, but little does he know. Oh, drops 2 sentries. That's unfortunate. And it still doesn't head that way.
He may find it though, we'll see.
Eventually he will.
If he walks south right now, he's got it, no problem.
Oh.
But he may not.
Oh no.
I've never seen this work before, so very cool
Neither
work.
have they.
Clearly. Yeah.
They'll check the replay on that one, I'm sure. And with it, they'll just kind of sidestep and have to do without the Ancients in the meantime. Mineski, though, in this top lane now, pressing towards this tier 1. It's still pretty fresh here. Yamate is first on the scene, a bit low in the mana department, but has coil ready to go if a fight is to break out. And he's got reinforcements nearby in the form of Ice's Vengeful Spirit and Ling's Lion.
Definitely safer for them to back up. I love the observer ward by the Dire team. Usually this is a lane ward protecting this tower, but by putting it in the jungle, that's usually where they're expecting the fight to be. The scan actually is going to catch the Venge, so they know that there's somebody over there, but they may assume that it's them setting up to fight rather than do what they're about to do. So they're instead running all the way to the bot lane to push their own tower, and then when they rotate bot to defend, they are going to try to take a fight.
Maybe just assuming there's the one in lane plus whoever was scanned. So numbers in their favor here as they head up and over. They
They could
eventually
get a
did get
double.
that ward, by the way, but here they go. Looking for possibly to get a hold of NJ here. The lone druid gonna get caught up in the stun, and the chain goes out. We'll help get the finish. Vengeful Spirit needs a couple more knocks of that, and the chain goes through the rest of the creep wave here and allows Mineski to be able to secure this tier 1 tower. The money continues to climb in for this Mirana Purge. Has the point booster, nearly 2k gold. This Agnum's going to be coming online super fast.
Yeah, I just don't quite understand this Lone Druid pick yet. Like, you could see how effective Chain Frost was there. It just meant Lone Druid's absolutely dead. 2 bouncing spells. The bouncing spells, man, it beats Lone Druid. He's always going to have 2 units.
Yep.
If they're too close to him, he's really screwed, but it was a perfect wraparound and the easiest kill ever. They can defend this, though. He may respawn TP.
Okay, there's a coil. It connects onto 2, but they're still looking to stand. They got the follow-up stun. Good step in crush comes out from the Slardar. Might create enough space. It helps get the finish onto the Vengeful Spirit. Nice little zoning ward comes out from Jules, and Raging Potato says, Moonlight Shadow, we can disengage if we want. But Slardar might move in.
What is he doing?
And the Lone Druid, who's just sitting there shape-shifting about, gets caught under the crush. They dish out the coconut. Luckily for him, it doesn't bounce back his way, but it doesn't matter. They eventually move in, and that's back-to-back kills on this Lone Druid, who happened to be just hanging around dancing a bit.
That was quite confusing there. He probably just thought for sure that they backed, but that was just so greedy. If you're going to stay there and farm, at the least stay in bear form. I mean, he transformed because he leveled up, so he said, oh, I want my extra skill points in Battle Cry and extra HP, but actually I don't know if that matters anymore. But I know one of the 2 does. But that was just such a dangerous time to do that. Really greedy play by him, and that is for sure going to delay his Radiance. He's only got 1,200 gold with the Midas, so one of the later Radiances we usually see.
They're pinging around on Potato. They know he's there. All right, he leaves now. He leaves just in time, actually. All right. But they already have that nice little deep lane ward down. And actually, Raging doesn't head back to the base. He just heads to the tier 1 here in the bottom lane. He is just about to finish, especially with getting a Midas right there. He's going to have his Agnums here in just a moment, while top lane will help secure it. They got Dragon form here for Bender. He's going to be making a move, and they're going to get this tier 1 network, man. It continues to just escalate that much more for Mineski. We have to see what Orange is going to be able to do to find their own response, and I know it's not in the form of this Lone Druid. He needs a lot of time to really come online.
Oh, the Mike and Marana?
Okay, the Savage Roar force her back. Do they have enough lockdown? Did they have enough lockdown? Magic Missile and a line stepping in with his owner Spike and Finger will finish her off. Did she buy the Ag? She certainly did, but that is a good net worth swing. Any kill at this point for Orange is going to be a good one.
Yeah, that was a pretty overkill Finger of Death, but considering it was the most farmed hero on their team, it's worth it, I guess, because they could always respond with like Blink, Star Stun, and then she lives kind of a thing. So
I mean, Lion has a Blink now because of that.
That's really fast, actually.
For a team that was behind and he's able to get the kill with that Finger, he's got a Blink. So
yeah. They got 1,000 gold from that. Like every single hero there got like 350.
Oh, they spotted Jules and they keep on giving. Man, that Echo Saber just smack.
Really effective, especially with the Wave of Terror. And he has maxed that out, by the way. The purpose of this basically is he's not planning to be in melee range. Normally you'd say like, okay, the Vengeance Aura scales better actually per level. Every single point you put in this gives you more than the Wave of Terror does. But all you have to do now is be within Wave of Terror range of where the Sven is going to be. So Sven will be in the dangerous place. You're just going to be back there, giving him that huge damage boost of 36% or so. So that plus Echo Saber and God's Strength leads to those like almost one-shot circumstances.
Ooh, they spotted Sven
Double stack.
in crossing here. And they just absolutely assault him. It's a 4-man jump. Serious gangbang right there. And he even took his wallet, I think. It was real bad. Now Sven going to be put in the grave. Mineski just going to be happy to take the 1 point and take over the woods. They even have the time to drop down a nice little Hobbs ward here. Good response.
It's kind of a dangerous place to take the fight, but if they kill him that fast, then they're completely set.
Uh-oh. Swap here for Jules. Right into the silence. Potato tries to step in to help out, but Jules is already in trouble. Arrow is going to be a miss, and that'll be the end of it. Just a Witch Doctor takedown there.
Good for them, I guess.
Good for them.
I don't think that was worth it at all.
Slaughter's here now. Jumps right in, gets a good blink, and a quick kill. Good for them. They get their own support, but the fight might not stop there. Here comes Orange. Moving on in. Good jump from Yamate. Gets a 2-man coil, and they're going to quickly take down Cast and his Lich. I actually just realize now he's not playing the Witch Doctor.
Yeah.
I am.
Hey man, he's rusty, right?
Yeah, I
always,
guess so.
Always give the worst player the lesser active heroes.
Just sit there and put ice armor on us, you fool.
Yeah, or keep sacrificing range creeps. This is your job. He did break the Dream Coil there. That was the big mistake. That surprised me because no Chain Frost means that you're no matter what not gonna be able to help. Although it was kind of nice in some ways because then it draws the focus to him.
They got finger and they want to use it. They smoke, they head up, and they're gonna catch out the Slardar from the high ground here. So suddenly, Orange just getting kill after kill at this point. All stemming from that first takedown of the Mirana. They did lose their Sven since then, but they've been able to put together quite a few kills here, and they cut the net worth advantage almost in half. So
yeah, just a couple of kills like that, he accelerates from a Blink Dagger, and now instantly with that kill he gets another 500 gold again, and this turns him into a Gem of True Sight. So like just a couple kills like this online, he's level 11, which means his Finger of Death is on a reasonable cooldown. Like he's actually going to be active and useful. Now I don't completely agree with his skill build here, because usually when you get Arcanes you will be maxing out Hex to lower the cooldown.
Mana drain.
But in the same vein that EMP Tornado Invoker is good, there's a lot of strength heroes on Mineski, so Mana Drain can be very, very useful if you're in a safe position to drain away. Like Dragon Knight, he's only got 482 mana pool here. He's going to have a bottle and a magic stick, but if you drain his mana, no stuns on like a, 8-second cooldown, 9-second cooldown, that can be really effective. So I sort of disagree with it, but in the same vein, it's also good. And he's got so many levels, I don't know if it matters.
And now Mineski, though, still not afraid to push past the river here. They approach this mid lane, plop down a sentry, and Dragon Form comes out. That's kind of the flag here for Orange, that if they want to pull out a defense, it's going to be happening here in the mid lane.
Yeah, he messed up with these a little bit. He should have activated Armlet first, but it's against a line anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Line's
quickly zap them down.
I don't know if he's doing this for sure, but I guess he has to hold the gem. I would have kind of liked to see him put the gem away.
Yeah, maybe that's why he leveled up Mana Drain. Just get rid of these Dragon Illusions right away, with the cooldown being 4 seconds now.
Anticipated. So they're going to take the tier 2 pretty much free. Wave of Terror even misses. It's difficult to fight that. Sven could hypothetically go for it, but it's a lot of disables, Ice Armor, Dragon Knight with Armlet. Like, this guy is not going to die to physical damage, so it only works really if they stop the Chain Frost or something like that. They have to hit the back line, basically.
We'll see if they're going to be able to have the opportunity to do so. Hey, Cass got a point. He got he got his Midas, and he's got a point booster. He's
I didn't see that Midas.
He's going for Ags.
How do you squeeze Midas? All right,
I have no idea.
That's definitely the thing he's been doing best this game, is that he just hasn't died. His Slardar died. He did not, and that's actually super important. You're still alive to sacrifice and limit their experience gain. If he just sits back, like now that he got away with Midas, this build's amazing. His survivability is quite high right now. His armor's decent because of Ice Armor. If he just picks up an Aghanim Scepter, Lone Druid cries. He literally cries because he's like, if I actually can't DPS anything. I just have to worry about dying all the time. Even the slow application is going to be decent against heroes like Sven.
Yep. Alright, big stuff coming into play here for Mineski, though. They are down kill score. They still pretty much lead everywhere else. And they'll make the rotation in. BKB, first one comes out. It's going to be on DK here. We'll have to see if that's going to be enough for them to really kind of go back on the offensive. And a Force Staff also. So extra mobility for the Slardar on the side of Mineski.
Yeah. Their 5-man looks so strong right now. It's, again, one of the benefits of this Ags Mirana. It's like a different version. It's a different version of damage, which makes it hard for your opponents to itemize. They need to get armor to deal with the Slardar, but now you've got this hero that does potentially 1,000 magic damage very, very easily. They do scan the Roach. It did work because somebody was outside of the pit while they scanned. And the range creep also scouting this out, but they're actually going to get here in time.
Okay. Even with the help of the amp damage, it might not be enough, but look at Mineski's positioning. They put themselves down south as the approach will be coming from the other side.
BKB.
Good jump in. No BKB going to be happening here, so he gets quickly hexed up. Now pops the BKB and looks to go for the rest. But meanwhile, Big Death Ward does fly out. The Chain Frost is going to force them to step away. Sven very low. They'll make the chase. They will make the kill happen. And now it's Lone Druid caught in the mix, but meanwhile they're going to finish things up. They get off ice, and well, it looks like NJ somehow found a way to wiggle out from trouble. But his bear, not going to be so lucky. It looks like they might try to go for him. Slardar's waiting for the blink to come up. We'll jump in, crush it, and they want this 300 gold. And Looks like they may be able to get that and move back for the Roche here. Huge win for Mineski now.
The damage was so big on the bear. It's good they took the fight though. It is going to delay the Roche, and maybe it's not fully good. I guess they definitely lost gold advantage there. The fight looked so good too. They initiated on the Dragon Knight. They fingered him right away to go down to 40%, but they had to get the follow-up there, and it's entirely possible that it was just they didn't get the follow-up fast enough. Like, clearly, I never saw Sven get into the fight, actually. He approached, but...
Well, you got to give some props. Mineski with that positioning, being down below, they saw pretty much all of Orange just come down from that ramp, and then when you're dishing out something like a chain frost and a coconut, those bouncing skills, they're like, I want to run the pit, but then we're all running together. You step back, you go forward, and... In the heat of the moment, I'm sure it's hard for them to kind of communicate what they want to do, and it just breaks out into chaos.
Yeah, so basically you have to spread out. It's the only way that works, right?
And at a Roche pit, when you want to have like a choke point fight and you're spreading out, it's very awkward.
And you're trying to focus on somebody that's out of position and disabled, because that's what the line basically did there.
It left like DK and Line in a one-on-one in the pit, and it was
Oh yeah, he got
awkward.
wrecked. There was
wrecked right away.
there.
Okay, they make a jump for Sven. The follow-up isn't quite there. No dragon form yet, obviously, but Mineski continue to show that Orange, that they're here and they're fighting. They now have the Aegis, and they could go for an approach here soon. But first, they got to get these lanes pushed out and maybe get some levels here on the Witch Doctor.
The economic damage they did to Sven this game is just mattering so much. Because he's not able, if he had a BKB in that fight, it doesn't matter. He runs through the Chain Frost, his support split up, and maybe he picks up the kill on the Dragon Knight, for example. But now because he wasn't able to do that and they lost that fight, he now has BKB at 25 minutes. Quite late, actually.
Yeah.
Normally he has like Echo Saber, Blink, possibly BKB at this moment.
Oh, for sure.
And instead he's a Blink Dagger behind, and his item came a little bit too late where it would have been useful, where they could have won the Roche fight. So he's getting there, but it's much slower than we normally expect for the Sven, especially with the new Echo Saber build. So they got to win the next couple of fights or it's going to get real tough. But Mineski's getting stronger and stronger. There's now a Reaver on the Dragon Knight. Most likely going to turn into a Heart, which means tons of survivability and weak against nuke-based lineups, which is most of what Orange Terran is.
Certainly looks to be the case here. And Mineski, who still hold that Aegis, have time on their side now. Their team seems to really be swelling up into something much more dominant. And then they can afford to wait a bit if they'd like. I mean, Lich has an Ags that's coming in the near future here. Jules was able to kind of grab together his own Glimmer Cape, and once the ammunition becomes apparent here, Mineski might try to go on the assault, but for now just kind of playing things a bit slow. I say that, but now they smoke, and it's time to go, baby. We'll see what they can get a hold of here. Looking to turn the corner. They got some nice full BKBs to work with.
Really good rune to pick up as well for tanky core hero when they're pushing. If he can get out, back to full HP, full mana for free. Can they snipe the arrow? That was a little off.
Swing and a miss. But they are not pulling off yet. Here they go. They feel like they have the manpower here. They saw the net worth. They would know.
Stun.
Jump in, Yamate. Just silences him up a bit and steps back.
That was well done. It clears the creep wave, buys them 30 seconds. If they can keep delaying this, then that'll put them in a good spot. They're trying to be careful about the Spirit Prayer as well. They'd love to get him around a split push. Like, if he could run past the fight.
Okay. Oh. They go Dragon Knight. They get the swap. He's not able to get the BKB off. He's down. That's a huge pickoff for Orange.
The detection. Alright, there's the dust.
Did they get the Mirana? It looks like they did. She's going to be able to leap away, turn around, jump in crush, but it's only to kind of create an escape path. But Raging Potato says, I'm going to BKB and I want to go. And it looks like they might have to settle for the bear. Yamate still jumping in. What a beautiful stun coming in from Ling. Catches him from behind, but then there's a quick response coming in from the Slardar. Gets his own crush off. This fight continues to move forward. Lich gets off the Chain Frost. Ice will go down, but so does the Lich. It's a 2-for-1 at the moment here as Terran continues to chase. Now they look to get a hold of this Slardar on this point, but he steps back. He gets off the crush. Here comes those Starfalls, but Raging Potato is very low and will end up losing his Aegis here. Orange, though, I think they've had enough at this point. The longevity of this fight not looking too good for him, as maybe even DK could make it apparent soon, but that will be the end of it.
That was a beautiful fight. They were so coordinated on that. The instant, they're like, we're going swap, and the line already had Hex queued up, so instantly as the swap happened, he gets Hex, and then the Earth Spike follow-up so that he stays under tower. They have detection, they have vision with the Finger of Death, and Sven, they just go all in. And if they kill Dragon Knight right at the start, that's easily the hero that's hardest to deal with. Not enough teams do this kind of a combo with Venge.
Yeah, you know what? I've been trying to think of who did this same exact combo recently. It was a Puck, Venge. I think I want to say it was eHome or MVP Phoenix. It might even be that Star Ladder.
Okay.
But it was just impressive. They had the Ether Lens Venge, long swap into the Insta-Hex, like just as we saw right there. And there's really not much you can do about it.
The only way to punish that maybe is to have Vision to protect against the swap, Aether Lens, Lincoln, something like that. But those are such crappy ways to deal with that kind of a problem.
Yeah.
I guess we can blame Mineski for not looking at the lineup and being like, they're gonna swap you.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get out of position and they're gonna follow up stun you with Hex.
What if this is like one of those moments where you can consider just like a value like Lotus Orb, just for whoever's sieging in there?
Yeah, that would have been a solution. I always say Aether Lens instead of Lotus Orb for some reason. Do you ever do that?
Yeah.
I do that every single time, especially now that they both take that energy booster. That's my excuse. That's actually
a fair
has no
excuse.
validity at all.
Sure.
But it's hard. They needed to initiate, basically. Initiate with a stun on Dragon Knight so it's not so cookie cutter easy to execute. These are good players, man. They're not bad at all. They definitely got behind through smart play from Mineski, but they can take the win here.
Okay, nice bear. Kill. Yep. Savage Roar is going to be off, but they got the coconut for it, and they will get it. So, good pick off. Good little chunk of change there for Mineski, and Piranha is able to throw together what looks like the new, cheaper Lincolns. That'll help a bit.
Yeah, it'll be a solution to what we just talked about. Put the Lincolns on the Dragon Knight. At least it'll stop one thing, but I mean, they can still do like mana drain from range. Lincolns is pop, then do the combo.
I was impressed, man. They got a lot of damage in there. I don't think he had the heart complete for that siege,
did not.
But now he's got it complete. But they were still able to take him down damn fast.
Yeah, they can probably still get him here. It's 500 HP difference. The Lincolns makes it a little tougher. Sven has no new items, so I guess his damage is about the same. I guess they have a Vlad's, though. That might help. But there's also a Glimmer Cape on Witch Doctor, and I'm sure they're going to be a little prepared for this one this time. If they don't get the burst, though, it's like they definitely lose the fight.
Ooh, Agnum's now done. I hope he just runs and places the traps of the Ancient Camp now.
Yeah, the Ancient ones.
Yeah. Nonetheless, though, still very good, as mentioned before, against this lone Druid who is just going to have his hands full in these fights trying to micromanage his bear or himself away from that ridiculous nuking damage. But at this point, Orange just kind of playing it nicely where they can just move out, probably have the buddy-buddy system in play, find your farming, and get back into your base, because clearly what they excel at nicely is being able to have a strong high-ground defense and a good way to get things rolling in the fight. But they may be tested again soon. Here comes Mineski back down the mid lane again.
Yep, Spear Prayer currently split pushing. He wasn't even farming out of base with his hero. And here comes the high ground.
This time, a Lincoln's and a Heart for this DK. They're going to pop the Lincolns, and look at that. A pick on the side. Jump back, quick burst, Puck's down. Yamate out of the fight, no buyback for him. They look to make that go again for the DK, but this time he'll be forced away. BKB's up, and he's going to make it out safely. This time it's not going so well for Orange, and it doesn't get any easier. A jump in crush for the Bear. A deep dive from Potato, but it pays off as he gets the finish. A double kill for him, wiping the floor of the supports. He ain't done yet. Goes right in for the Bear, but this time Sven's going to be there to back up, but the follow-up comes in. DK's back, he's healthy, he's good. And a fault, man, one by one, they rotate these stuns beautifully. Lich is like, I just want to get a freaking axe chain off, but man, triple kill for Potato. He is just kiting and dancing around this Orange team. Oh, almost got
it. It looks so good for Orange,
good,
but the Puck just did a little bit of damage to the Witch Doctor on the side, but he got caught in the stun. That changed everything. Then when the swap came out for the Dragon Knight, the damage was kind of there, but they had already killed the Puck, so there wasn't as much stuff messing up their initiation. Very, very close for Orange, but they do lose that fight pretty one-sided and lose all their heroes. The other really big thing is the supports didn't take into account maybe the Ags Chain Frost. They got hit 2 times each. That's a huge amount of damage at that point, and that's why the Murano went so deep. She jumps in when they're that low, and double Starfall, even from range, should clean them up. Cleans them up, and BKBs work to their favor. Full cleanup, lots of kills, and a Rax.
I'd forgotten that she, even had that Lincoln, so I'm like, man, she's certainly diving deep, but she's got the tank ability to go along with it, that she can be the janitor and clean things up. Now, after the mid lane push and clearing out the racks, they stepped back to make it go for the Roche, but it wasn't up yet, and Orange had anticipated that they were going to be doing so, and they're falling just a little bit behind here. They smoke up and they continue to go on the prowl. A scan. think that was a Radiant scan. They don't have a way to really tell the difference, I don't think, right?
Yeah. I look at it and I have to be like,
no, that was a dire
which
scan.
team would scan there?
Yeah, I mean, you can look at the cooldown, I guess, if you click on either side. So that was a dire
Yeah.
scan, but it was a swing and a miss. So this smoke movement really does not help Orange, unfortunately, and they'll have to get back on defense.
Yeah, kill there would have been really nice for them to have, but nothing for that. Smoke comes out now for the Radiant team. There's a new E-Blade on Mirana, so she's going to be able to set up her arrows a lot easier. Huge threat to at least a Spirit Bear.
Plus helps out. Maybe if Sven, for whatever reason, does get a hold of somebody. Let's say they swap in a Slaughter or the DK. She can leap in, get off an E-Blade and help out, but that might not be necessary. They've already made a committed jump, and they just annihilate the Lion, and they take out the Sven. Blink and you miss it. Mineski might be able to close this game out here as they approach the southern part of the base. They make their move in. Lone Druid going to get quickly saved from Ice, but Ice is going to be eating a icy hit of that Chain Frost, and then quickly gets blown up. Now a follow-up here from Slardar. They want to get the bear. They got it. Amate, unfortunately, just steps in with a silence, but that's all he can do. Sven waiting in the grave, has a buyback, but I don't think it's going to matter. That Lone Druid goes down, and he is out for nearly a minute. No buyback for him, and it looks like Mineski might be claiming game number 1.
Yeah, they've just been playing really well here. When you have this many BKBs against these kind of heroes, Puck, Lion, and Venge, it just becomes so hard to do damage and take fights. They had that one really good combo, but that only does so much. I think Orange Terran just really needed to fight a bit earlier. They got too passive with this game, and they got out-passive, basically. Ancients were blocked consistently for a good 5-10 minutes kind of a thing. Limits Sven's advantage. The laning stage didn't go nearly as well as they wanted it to. Just a lot of things went wrong for them in this game, and despite the semi-rough early game.
Yeah, and now, you know, we had asked the question in the draft, like, where was this Lone Druid, what was his place going to be in this game, and I don't know if we really got any sort of solid answers about that.
Yeah.
He found himself still about the top 3, now top 4 in the net worth department, but really didn't end up being that scary beast we see many a time.
Yeah, against a lot of normal lineups, it can be very effective if the bear's hard to deal with, but the Slar ulti just does so much. It basically shifts your game forward like 20 minutes. Like normally it takes until like 30, 40, 50 minute mark till you feel confident killing the bear without too much difficulty. But minus 10 armor, that amplifies your whole team's damage by like 60% physical. And it's just really straightforward to kill the bear at all stages of the game. As soon as Slar's 6, it's an option that you can deal with. So I just don't like it as a response to Slaughter. If Slaughter's in the game, Lone Druid is just not very good.
It wasn't just a Slaughter. They got Slaughter and Witch Doctor as their 1-2, and they're like, you know what, we'll
and
go
the Lich as well, but I really do think a lot of that is... Yeah, I guess you're right. Like the Witch Doctor and the Lich, they basically mean all mid-game team fights. You have a solution against the Lone Druid, even if there's some stuff going on in other places, and if they ever do find the bear solo, they can still really kill it without too much worry. It can't just walk in, you can't kill it, and it roars you whenever he wants. He actually has to play a little scared with it. And the Radiance was delayed, I guess, and the first couple fights didn't go amazing for Terran, but I really feel like the supports played really well on Terran, at least the Lion definitely did.
Yeah.
Got his items up fast, just these team fights have been a little tough.
And help with that burst turnaround, taking out Raging Potato in the bottom lane.
There they go, they're doing it.
Okay, there's the swap. There's the Hex. There's the Finger. We've seen this trick once before, and it will work again on the Dragon Knight. This time he wasn't lucky enough to get that Lincoln, but this time Mineski's like, you know what, you take our Dragon Knight, but we're still pretty confident that we might be able to do some work, even as a foursome. Right now it's working on this bear. Eventually the war will come out. Look at this response from Yamate. Gets a nice 2-man
Oh,
coil.
the death.
It's done fall, but oh my god, that's Sven! Did you see that? Holy crap! He got blown the hell up. The E-Blade, the Dagon, the Starfall, all more than enough with the burst damage, and he is gone and out. Nearly a minute without a buyback. We don't need no Dragon Knight. Mineski just easily move in and blow the Sven the hell up, and now go back to finish this game out.
It looked like he had a Mask of Madness on. He actually went from full HP to 10%, and then it was like, one more Starstorm. This tiny little thing flies down.
Cruel touch from Jesus above.
Oh.
See you later, but they will lose their Dagon here. And now Raging Potato hexed up, but he has the assistance from Slardar, steps in, gets a nice stun, and Lion will go down, and why not a Death Ward right on his dead corpse?
Yeah.
They'll move in, and eventually this will just trickle into the GG call, I'm sure. The white flag to be raised here from Orange. A valiant effort indeed, but Mineski on the warpath to find some revenge against TNC in the grand final, and this will be a step in the right direction, taking game number 1. But Lone Druid says, I have one more life. Flies back, looks to move in. They still have a Rax to fall back on here. Can they get the burst for Raging Potato? Doesn't look like it.
It's hard. He's really tanky.
Yeah.
When you go Ags, BKB, and Lincolns,
and you have
it's just not the same.
Crap ton of agility. He's got like a crap ton of armor. This Mirana is not looking. She does not look as frilly as you think. She's a beast.
And this is the hard part for this hero with this build, is that you have to get from the Ags to like 2 items deeper than that until you're actually effective. And I think things like Veil are kind of a trap. A lot of times Miranas will buy Veil, but I don't think it's the best way to amp your damage. I like that you did go BKB Lincolns, because that's another problem that you need to solve, but the E-Blade is definitely the better way to transition your build into something better DPS-wise, because it sets up your arrow, it gives you 40 agility, and you're an agility hero, so it's like, oh, I can get hybrid damage, hybrid utility, one-shot ability, as we saw in the Sven. It just amps your damage by so much. It's 80% movement speed slow for 3 seconds. That's really good against Sven, actually.
Oh, yeah. And here they go, looking for the knockout blow. One set of racks separated from the mega creeps here. With the tier 3 already down, Mineski make their new approach. And we'll see. Who will they hand over to the greater swap hex gods here? I mean, DK could make his move in, but they're not going to give him the Lincolns. Raging Potato plopped up. Look at this positioning here. Links in, waits for the arrow, hoping to go for the Sven. Oh, gets it. Are they going to make work of it? She steps in, E-Blade, but gets hexed up and fingered, so they can't get the burst off this time, but it don't matter. The follow-up is going to be coming out. Sven does move in, tries the manbo, but the DK's going to be there to help out, and it doesn't matter, man. They're just too big, too bad, too strong. Mineski get the win. Game number 1 will go their way.
Yeah, really straightforward at the end. You can really feel the gold advantage. Their best combo and their best fight was the swap under tower with all of the nukes they had, but if their opponents were ever able to pop BKB, no chance at the fight. I just didn't feel the value of Lone Druid this game. Both the Lich and the Witch Doctor did counter it. Kind of surprised to see Lich doing so well, but it definitely was effective that game, I think. Like, the thing that separates Lich from being a really good hero or a bad hero is the effectiveness of your Chain Frost. That's definitely